Film snobs of Reddit, who was the single worst casting choice in Hollywood film history? I don't know about worst of all time, but Julia Roberts in Michael Collins was super jarring. Her Irish accent was willy-nilly, and when it was on it was still pretty terrible. Plus she just looked out of place. Like they dropped a supermodel into the middle of the Irish Civil War. Not that there weren't good-looking people in Ireland at the time, but you shove a big name and face like hers into a historical period piece like that, you're just asking for trouble. Shoulda went with an Irish actress. Mark Wahlberg in the Cary Grant role in the remake of Charade, The Truth About Charlie. The whole thing was a train wreck, and a disgrace to everyone involved save maybe Thandie Newton. But none of it was worse than Marky Mark in the male lead. Edit: to save my film snob card from revocation, I have been reminded it is, as of the past year, to be spelled Thandie Newton. I'm not enough of a platinum-level snob to even guess how that's pronounced. Edit 2, for the disbelievers. https://www.imdb.com/title/TTO2700707/. Remember, the top comment on today's video will make it into tomorrow's video. Be sure to answer the question in the comments below. Maria Bello in The Mummy 3, replacing Rachel Weisz. It would have been better to say Evelyn died than to use Maria Bello. John Wayne as Genghis Khan, Justin Chatwin as Goku. Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's as Mr. Yunioshi is pretty infamous. https://idotamger.com/fearlpo.jpg. Valerian with Cara Delevingne. She had no feelings and zero chemistry with the other main character Dane DeHaan, who I've also never seen in another movie. Worst casting ever. The cast for The Last Airbender. The acting alone was enough to make it the worst movie of that year. I mean, I've seen better acting in Liberty Mutual commercials. James Corden in Cats. I don't know about single worst, but when I think of terrible casting lately I immediately think of Valerian and The City of a Thousand Planets. Those two leads were horrendously miscast, and it sunk the movie. Mark Wahlberg in The Happening. I'm not sure any casting choice could have made that movie not suck, but I couldn't believe for even a second that Wahlberg was just a dorky science teacher trying to survive. Any movie where Mark Wahlberg needs to appear intelligent. It can't be done without him constantly verbally reminding the audience how smart he is. Even then it doesn't work. I have to give this one to John Wayne as Genghis Khan. Cara Delevingne in Valerian. She's a model, not an actress, and her character just was so bad. Steven Seagal as anything, I think. Denise Richards trying to play a nuclear physicist in The World is not enough. She's pretty, but she's about as convincing of a nuclear physicist as a dog chewing on an atom-shaped chew toy. Who the Hash and Dollar cast Topher Grace is Venom. Seriously, the kids from the 70s show. He's not scary at all. Especially when he's screaming in agony. I'm just thinking to myself, this is bad. I waited almost 30 years for a Morbius, the living vampire film, then they cast Leto. Fuck, shocked face, Speedy, speechless face, vomiting face. Mark Wahlberg as Sully in Uncharted. Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates. Tom Cruise playing the 6 feet 5 inches mountain of muscle Jack Reacher. Lost my acid over that decision. Sofia Coppola in Godfather Part 3. Casting the director's daughter as the emotional centerpiece for the movie despite the fact that she couldn't act for shit was a legendarily bad decision. It's especially distracting coming from a movie that had previously racked up 8 acting Oscar nominations and 2 wins between 2 movies, which is completely unheard of for any film series. I'm not a film snob, but Jared Leto as the Joker stands out as a WTF choice. Jared Leto as Paolo Gucci in the film Gucci. He was horrendous and made the character into a real-life Mario character with the shittiest attempt of an Italian accent that I've ever heard in my life. Coppola's daughter in The Godfather 3. My personal choice would be Emilia Clarke as Sarah Connor in Terminator Genesis. Capable, lovable actress that in no way embodies the badass that is Sarah Connor. That dude who played John Connor in Terminator Genesis. The film was riddled with problems, but this casting was just awful. Keanu Reeves in Bram Stoker's Dracula. His attempt at a British accent is hilarious. Emma Stone is a half-native Hawaiian, half-Japanese woman in Aloha. No, I'm not kidding, they actually did that. Cameron Diaz in Gangs of New York. She's not bad, but can't match DiCaprio and Daniel Day-Lewis. Jared Leto as the Joker. He's just so gross. Pretty much everyone in the Netflix Death Note movie. Robert De Niro as the young Frank Sheehan in The Irishman. There isn't enough makeup and CGI in the world to make that work. Wilson for the part of Wilson in the movie Cast Away. Spalding was a far better choice. Kristen Stewart in Snow White and the Huntsman. John Wayne as a centurion watching Christ's crucifixion. Truly he was the Son of God. Leslie Howard as Ashley Wilkes. Really? Nobody seemed to notice that good old Ashley had a British accent. Not quite as egregious as Lois Lane failing to recognize Superman when he put on glasses, but still pretty pathetic.